Alright, this is a group match. We have Darnell versus Lolo. Now, my understanding, Darnell is a pretty safe player. They tend to not harass and rely on their very strong chaining power to win. They don't like to take harassments. At least from my personal analysis of their playstyle, I've tended to just notice that. Seem to be getting a little greedy. Yeah, they're not going for many attacks, they're just kind of extending with one chains. Unable to counter that. It's in a very tight spot, but it looks like they will be able to. Ooh. Didn't rotate in the ghost rope. Lolo putting on that pressure, probably. Yeah. Sealing the deal. Lolo takes the first round. Just a 2-chain needed to take out Darnell there. Darnell was quite a little risky with that extension. They really should have, or I feel like they should have gone for some more attacks. They were setting up a lot of one-chains, and one-chains are not very efficient when it comes to chain building. They did have a big chain ready, but when they got attacked, it hurt pretty bad. Simply just sets up the chain. Lolo with a 11. Darnell's coming in with a power 9. It's not going to be enough.
It seems I've lost. Big victory.
Lolo with a small early lead. Looks like Lolo's been able to put a little pressure on Darnell and take a few rounds because of that. A little pressure can go a long way. Looks like Darnell's getting ready to power up their tail. Those greens are not gonna tail very cleanly. And Darnell going with an attack. Understands that they can just add the greens and it doesn't hurt their team too badly. He's gonna want greens, but it's just not getting done. That is just unfortunate. Oh. I feel like it wasn't that risky for them to go for that extension. Darnell did just get pretty unlucky. When I say pretty unlucky, they got very unlucky. Ouch. It's always rough when you don't. Extension is like right there. It's right in your face. It's just a quick little extension, and then the game just stops giving you the colors you need. And Darnell doing a simple dig to counter what Lolo sent. Looks like Lolo is not expecting the chain to cut like that. Lolo quickly extends the chain with what they have. Damage is pretty big though, and a 7 is not gonna offset. Darnell finishes the job. Darnell takes their first round. I feel like Lolo meant to set off a much bigger chain. Just with how they slowly played, or just they had like a slow, like they were analyzing the situation after their 4-chain got set off. Darnell with a very clean tail. Takes a little garbage, but that's not gonna do much. Darnell gonna go for a small attack. Lolo not ready though. It's like Lolo's gonna sacrifice their chain for that, which definitely a rough play. Probably could have dug a little more safe. Darnell quickly goes to the main chain. But Lolo actually does fix the reds, but Darnell had a lot. They had a very clean tail. Lolo was not able to counter it. Darnell's starting to catch up. It's possible that Darnell has gotten a little more comfortable with Lolo's harassing patterns. They even seem to be harassing Lolo themselves. A little contrary to analyzations. Darnell extending pretty inefficiently. Is simply just gonna. They kind of did just kind of. Oh no, Lolo's. Oof. Okay. I was about to say it wasn't the greatest play for Darnell to just set off the chain like that, but they probably noticed Lolo's chain cut. But it was kind of the only thing they could have done because they were cornering themselves. They didn't have much to do other than set off their chain. Oh yeah, Darnell's been playing a few other chain forms, but right now they're playing GTR. I've seen some sandwich. Lolo goes with a 3-chain, which doesn't mess with the structure of their chains, so Darnell just setting up their chain. Lolo's gonna have a lot of time to fix up their chain. They're struggling to get the blue they want though. Darnell with a 12. Oh, and that right there, ruining the tail. Or cutting the tail like that. Ouch. Even with the tail, that would not have matched a 12. It would have been a lot closer though. I almost wonder if instead of wasting the pieces Lolo got, Lolo could have set up an extension, but that is very difficult to think about, especially when you're in the pressure of a full chain being set off. Looks like Lolo's deviating from GTR. You know, Darnell is still going with the GTR themselves. It seems like Lolo is just going with their main chain. Darnell builds up their chain in time. He's gonna come with a very powerful 6-chain. Yeah, Lolo, I'm just not ready for it. It's possible Lolo messed up. Their chain form didn't seem like what they wanted. Lolo back to GTR. Same with Darnell. A very popular chain form. Doesn't really look like there's much of a setup for any harassments. Oh, Lolo making it risky with those blues. It still does work. Who is it risky? I know we just got a chain battle. Oh, but Lolo's just struggling to find the right colors. It's taken out. And Darnell, despite the bad start, or I guess not bad, despite the weaker start being behind a few points, Darnell finds themselves at match point in a leading position. Just interesting to see. I feel like Darnell really adapted to Lolo's playstyle well. Darnell taking a little risk at that extension. That little bit of garbage could have messed that up pretty badly. Lolo's in a pretty tough spot to extend. Oh, but Darnell's chain cuts, and Lolo is just the piece they need as they think about possible extensions. Lolo comes back with a very clean. Ooh, I thought that tailed cleanly, but a 10? A power 9? Not bad.
It seems I've lost. Big victory.
Lolo barely catching the Darnell's chain cut. Okay, another GTR v GTR. I think Darnell played Sandwich on the last one. I did not point that out though. Darnell making some pretty good piece decisions. Lolo's setting up for a 3-chain harassment. Looks like they're gonna catch Darnell and take another round. Lolo's making... possibly make a comeback here. I mean... it seems like they still can catch Darnell off guard pretty well. Even though Darnell is adapted. I'm going with an attack. Pretty strong attack, covering up a transition like that, but I'm just going to quickly recover with a simple 1-chain. However, it did slow them down a lot. Oh, Lolo comes in with a really powerful harassment. Brings it up to a tie. Whoever wins this round takes the set. This is a very close one. Seems like Lolo has realized that Darnell sometimes sets up the chain really risky way. Lets them get a bigger chain, but it's pretty harassable. Lolo possibly setting up a chain in their transition, but Darnell catches it. Lolo needs a I'll have to fix that. It needs blues, needs greens. That's just too much to ask for. It's taken out. Yeah, Lolo playing too risky there. Just building a harassment they never were able to set off. That was a very close game though. Very well played.